So I've been investing in national bonds ever since I've been in the UAE. The first time I invested in national bond was when I was about to purchase my primary home. The story is like that I've got almost 50% of the funds already available for purchase of the home, but the remaining 50% I had to accumulate over the period of next 1 year. For that 1 year period, I wanted to have those 50% that is already available, the funds that are already available. I wanted them to be invested in a place which are secure, safe, and will give me slight bit of return. National bond was no brainer at that time because this is an absolutely amazing vehicle if you want to invest in short term. Many people also invest for long term as well in national bonds. I don't recommend that, but at least for the short term, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, that is absolutely amazing. This returns from national bonds, the assurity from national bond is amazing. Since then, I have been investing in national bonds in one way or the other for one reason or the other. The reason is that for national bond, I never invest for the longer term, as I mentioned before, but for a short term period or anything which any fund that I do not require for next one year, 2 years, or let's say 6 months. I try to invest in some places, and national bond is one of the candidate. Now I just found that national bond has just recently introduced one of the offer, which is IBOR plus 0.5%. This is a mind-blowing offer. Actually, I haven't seen this kind of offer before. There is a similar kind of instrument in the US which is called as iBond. I would rate it similar to that because that is also government back, and that is guaranteeing you more than inflation, more than whatever the prevailing inflation rates are, more than that returns from the investment. The thing is, it has still limitations, while national bonds, IBOR plus 0.5% doesn't have any limitations. So let me go through what is IBOR specifically very quickly. IBOR is Emirates Interbank Offer Rate, which is the same as LIBOR if you talk about in terms of the UK, which is London Interbank Offered Rate, or if you talk in terms of the US, then it is the Fed rate, Federal Reserve Funds rate. That is the same as IBOR here in the UAE. So IBOR is basically the benchmark interest rate for lending between banks in the UAE. So basically, whenever banks want to do the transaction between themselves and they want to have some kind of lending between themselves, then this is the rate which is fixed by the central bank for their reference. So this is something which your loans also depend on. Whatever the mortgage you're doing, whatever credit cards you're getting, it is somehow linked with the IBOR. So now what is national bond doing? National bond is basically offering you that whatever the IBOR is, 3 months IBOR, whatever the value is, they will give you on top of that almost 0.5%. So whatever the IBOR is right now, let's say if it's 5.3%, then they will add 0.5% on that. It will come to be a value of 5.8%. So I'm not telling you exact numbers, but this is how it is going to work. Just let me quickly go through the one of the graph. You will understand how the federal funds rate and how the Emirates IBOR, let's say IBOR, works hand in hand, because dirham is pegged with the US dollar. It is hard pegged with the US dollar. Whatever the rates are, they are pegged, and they have been consistent since very long. So you can see, once you see the chart where it shows the Emirates interbank offer rate and also the US interest rates, they are almost tandem to each other. Whenever there is a reduction in the US, the UAE central bank has to reduce the rate as well. Whenever there is an increase here in the UAE, also the interest rates are increased. So we are very much tied to the US economy for that matter. Although in terms of inflation, I have shown before as well, the inflation numbers can differ because the US is entirely different country and the UAE is completely different country, very far away from the US. In terms of economy, they are not tied up together, but in terms of interest rates, we are tied up together because of the dirham peg. Now I'll just go directly to the national bonds website. It is very important to understand what is this offering, and I'll show you what exactly is being offered by national bonds and what you might need to do and what I am doing right now to invest in case I want to invest. So I'll go directly to the national bonds website. You can have a look on that. There is a download section. If you go there, you will find that there is a form which is IBOR application form for individuals. You'll download that. I'll just open that form. I'll go through that form because that form is very nice and you will understand everything through that form. So you will see, by the way, this form, if you haven't have some relationship manager for the national bond, I have one relationship manager of my own. I talk to him, I just fill up the form and send it to him across, and then the transaction is done once I transfer the money to national bonds bank account. So this is a very seamless process, although it's not directly online, but still it is not very difficult as well. If you have the RM, it's very easy. If you don't have the RM, just email them or just call them or something like that. They will assign you some RM for that. Anyways, now if you go to section B here, you will see the benchmark is mentioned as 3 months IBOR. So if you go to the IBOR section, you will see there are different rates for the IBOR. So 1 month IBOR right now is 5.39%. I'm making this video on the 22nd of May. So 1 month IBOR is around 5.39%, 3 months IBOR is 5.19%, 6 month IBOR is 5.22%, and 12 months IBOR is 5.55%. But the benchmark on which the rates are going to be decided is 3 months IBOR. By the way, as per national bond, this is Sharia compliant. So I'm not aware about that. So you can have your due diligence done if you want a strictly Sharia compliant thing. But as per national bond, this is Sharia compliant. Now, observation dates, it's mentioned every 3 months starting from the investment date. So basically, every 3 months, they are going to revise whatever the IBOR is. As soon as you start investing, the prevailing IBOR rate will be implemented, and after 3 months of your investment, the rates will change. Profit payout is also every 3 months. So the good thing about this product is that you have good possibility of doing compounding every 3 months. Otherwise, there are sukuk options or other product from national bond or any other instrument here in the UAE. You will find, let's say, you won't be able to compound very frequently because the rates that are being offered might not be giving you the profit every, let's say, quarter, every month, or whatever the case is. They give you the profits after a year, so that sometimes is not easy to do compounding. But here it's very easy. Every 3 months you can get this profit, and then you can top up, and then you can do the reinvestment if you desire. So the lock-in period is 90 days. So basically you cannot pull out your investment before 90 days, but if you want to, then you can do with some kind of penalties. I haven't gone through that penalty here, but there are some small penalties, 0.25%, something like that, per annum. So it is not too much of a penalty as well, so it's easier to redeem too. But I think 90 days is something which you have to keep in your mind, just to avoid any kind of surprises or losses. So early redemption allowed after lock-in period, profit recalculation on 2.5%. So let's say if you do 1 year of investment, because there are different tenures, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, 36 months. So if you do 12 months of the investment, and you think about redemption after 3 months, then you will be given only 2.5% at max of the profit from that period, because otherwise you will not be able to reap the benefit of the maximum amount. So 2.5% is the minimum, by the way, that you will be able to get. And this is always, whatever the information mentioned here is always considered to be per annum. So if you're getting 5.8%, 2.5%, whatever mentioned here is on annual basis, and when you get this on quarterly basis, it is divided on let's say by the factor of 4. Partial redemption is not allowed. So whatever investment you've done, you will have to redeem the full redemption, full amount. A rewards program not eligible, and currency is of course dirham. Subscription fees is 0.5%, as I mentioned before. Yeah, it's mentioned here. So basically what it means, that let's say if you're going for full year, then you will be charged with 0.25% of subscription fees. But only if you go towards the end, the majority is completed, then there is no charge. Otherwise, if you are withdrawing before that, then it's the 0.25% is going to be charged on the subscription. So basically this means that whenever you're investing, let's say if I know that I have got this tuition fees for my son, and next year I have to pay that, I know that I will be needing this money in next 1 year. So or maybe after 1 year. So in that case, I will be investing that for 1 year, not for 2 years, because I know I have to be redeeming that. Or in case you want to buy a home, and you want to invest for, let's say, 2 years, because you will be buying the home after 2 years, you will be investing only for 2 years, not for 3 years, let's say, because there are penalties, and not that high of a penalty, but still there is something that you need to keep under consideration. Minimum expected profit rate is 2.5%, that I've already mentioned, and maximum expected profit rate is 6.5%. This is something which is not expected because of the IBOR, because IBOR, I don't think so it will go towards 6% considering the situation here. but still they are keeping themselves safe to mention that it is going to be at max 6.5%. As of now, it is not more than 5.3, 5.4%, and going forward, it looks to be coming down as well as the inflation is easing out in the US. Now, the tenure, as mentioned, is 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and 36 months. The benchmark rate is always for all the tenures, it's 3 months, 3 months. Yeah, all of them are 3 months, and the profit margin is IBOR plus 0.5% in all of them, and expected profit rate is again mentioned the same way. So now below is all the things mentioned, what exactly you wanted to do and what are the consents and declaration and these things. So you can, if you want, you can easily go and fill the form and invest in national bond. Again, there are some consideration, but national bond is very safe, and apart from few penalties that can be applied to you, you will not be able to get the full profit, or you will get the 0.25% of penalty as well on early redemption. Apart from that, there is nothing to be worried about. I have been using this for more than 13-14 years now, and it has been very helpful for me for my financial decisions on different levels. One need to understand that, let's say if I have, because I've been investing in my short-term investments in national bonds as well as VO Bank. VO Bank is offering right now 5% of returns if you're doing it on monthly basis, and if you're doing it on locked in basis, it can go up to 5.5%. So if you have some investments for 5% locked in with VO Bank, you might consider to invest with national bond as well. Or let's say if you have some amount in Sarva Invest which is giving 3%, you might want to move that as well to national bond, because right now it's giving 5.8%. And the only thing is that it has to be logged in, and you need to see whatever the logged in period is. I talk about personal finance on this channel. I've talked about productivity. I've discussed multiple platforms on this channel as well, which gives you the option to invest in the US stocks, or let's say you want to invest in the UAE real estate, but it is very expensive, and then you can you can, let's say, tokenize and invest a small amount. There are multiple platforms for that. There is a platform which is called as Smart Crowd. It gives 250 dirhams of referral bonus if you want to open the account using my link in the description, and similarly Sarva gives you $50 of referral bonus if you use my referral link and invest a small amount as per their terms and condition. There are two videos mentioned here for both Smart Crowd and the Sarva. These were recently made by myself for these platform. If you want, you can have a look. Thank you very much.